The battle for America's future has reached a fever pitch. President Trump's bold new policy, the Doge dividend, has set off a storm across the political landscape. As the public watches with bated breath, we are witnessing an unprecedented showdown, one that pits the establishment against the people. This isn't just a political story. This is a movement that could change the fabric of American democracy forever. It started like any other debate. The politicians, the media, the pundits, each one trying to assert their influence. But then, something unexpected happened. A groundswell of support erupted for a policy that many thought was too outlandish to succeed. The Doge dividend, a proposal that promised to return tax dollars to the American people, was met with fierce resistance. They called it reckless. They called it dangerous. But they never counted on one thing: the people. As we dive into this story, you'll understand why 75% of Americans, across party lines, stood behind this idea. You'll see how the media, desperate to stop it, tried every trick in the book. But the American people weren't backing down. And neither was President Trump. The screen flashes to MSNBC, where Rachel Maddow sits, furrowing her brow in her signature concerned manner. "This is just another scheme by Trump to buy votes," she declares. Her voice is filled with suspicion as she warns that this so-called Doge dividend could destabilize the economy, leading to mass layoffs and a potential recession. But her concerns are overshadowed by the growing movement behind the policy. As she speaks, the voice of Tucker Carlson interrupts, cutting through the noise. "Folks," Tucker begins, his tone a mixture of amusement and contempt. "Do you see what's happening here? These are the same people who wasted trillions on endless wars, on bloated bureaucracies, on pet projects for their donors. And now, they're pretending to care about fiscal responsibility." Tucker's voice rises as he lays bare what many are thinking. They're attacking the Doge dividend because it's not just about giving Americans their own money back. It's about giving them control over their future. His words resonate, building momentum for the movement. But the battle is just beginning. As the news cycle rages on, a new headline emerges. "Trump's reckless giveaway will bankrupt America," screams the New York Times. But Tucker isn't backing down. He scoffs, dismissing the idea that giving Americans their own money could be what causes the collapse of the economy. No, he insists. What's reckless is spending $1.7 trillion in reckless government spending and giving billions to overseas conflicts. But giving people their own tax dollars back, that's the real problem. His words hit hard, challenging the very foundations of the argument posed by his critics. And the American public is listening. Support for the Doge dividend isn't just growing, it's solidifying. A live poll on screen shows a staggering 75% of Americans supporting the policy. The message is clear. The people want this, and they want it now. As the story unfolds, we shift to CNN's breaking news segment, where a legal analyst raises doubts about the legality of the Doge dividend. He claims that President Trump might not have the authority to implement such sweeping changes without congressional approval. The analyst warns that lawsuits could be on the horizon, and even impeachment could be a possibility. But again, Tucker Carlson's voice cuts through the noise. "Ah, there it is," Tucker says with a sly smile. "When all else fails, they go the legal route." But notice, when your tax dollars are being sent overseas, no one raises an eyebrow. The second Trump tries to give you that money back, suddenly they're constitutional scholars. This is the moment when the battle truly intensifies. The media, desperate to stop the movement, throws every weapon it has at it. Fear-mongering, legal threats, manipulation. But none of it works. The American people have had enough. A new tweet from President Trump flashes on the screen. They're panicking because the American people are finally winning. "We will not stop fighting for you." The message is clear. Trump is undeterred. He's not backing down, and neither are the people. The scene shifts to Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump takes the stage, flanked by American flags. The room is charged with energy, the applause deafening. Trump steps to the podium, and with the kind of calm authority that has made him a political force, he addresses the crowd. The corrupt politicians, the fake news media, the Washington cartel, They never thought this day would come. Trump begins, his voice steady but full of conviction. They never thought the American people would wake up and say, "Wait a minute, this is our money." The room erupts in applause. For decades, Trump continues. Politicians have taken Americans' tax dollars and squandered them, sending them to countries most Americans can't even locate on a map, funding programs that did nothing to improve the lives of the average citizen. But now, for the first time in history, the people are getting some of that money back. Tucker Carlson cuts in briefly, offering his own analysis. "Look at that," he says. "Trump is saying what every American already knows, and the media, they have no response." Trump continues, his voice growing stronger with each word. "They say it's reckless. They say it's dangerous. But you know what's reckless? Spending trillions on wars while our own people suffer. You know what's dangerous? Giving billions to Ukraine while our cities are collapsing. They don't care about you. They never did. But I do." The crowd's reaction is electric. Applause fills the air, a testament to the connection between Trump and the people. It's no longer just about policy. It's about who really runs this country. The people or the corrupt career politicians. As the speech ends, a new poll flashes on the screen. 84% of Americans now support the Doge dividend. The number is staggering, undeniable. Tucker leans in, his voice steady. 84%. Let that sink in. The media told you this was controversial. They told you Americans were against it. They lied. Back in the Fox News studio, Tucker's face hardens. The establishment will fight this tooth and nail. But they're fighting against the will of the people. And that never ends well. The camera zooms in on the Capitol Hill feed. Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren are seen exiting the chamber, their faces grim. The cameras flash, reporters shout questions, but they don't answer. It's clear, the defeat is undeniable. The scene shifts again, this time to breaking news. The White House has just issued a statement. The Doge dividend will move forward. No amount of political theater will stop it. Tucker whistles. That, my friends, is what you call a power move. And then, the moment of truth. The final congressional vote is in. 282 to 153. The Doge dividend is now law. The movement that started as a radical idea has now reshaped American politics forever. The people have won. Across the nation, celebrations break out. In Ohio, a factory worker holds up a sign. "This is our money." In Texas, a mother wipes away tears as she watches the news. Finally, she says, "Someone actually fought for us." Tucker leans in, his voice calm but charged with emotion. This isn't just about tax refunds. This is about something far bigger. For the first time in decades, the American people forced Washington to listen. And now, everything is changing. As Capitol Hill is rocked by this historic shift, the establishment scrambles. The media, in its struggle to spin the story, is clearly rattled. Jake Tapper's voice trembles as he tries to put the events into context. This is an unprecedented shift in government policy. The long-term effects are unknown. But Tucker isn't having it. "Unknown," he scoffs. "No, Jake. The long-term effects are crystal clear. The American people just prove they don't need Washington to waste their money to function. That's why the establishment fought so hard to stop this. And that's why they lost." A fresh report flashes on screen, a tweet from President Trump. "We just took our country back." Tucker's voice lowers as he delivers the final blow. There it is, folks. History has been made tonight, and the establishment, they'll never recover from this. The American people have spoken. The Doge dividend is law, and with it, a new era in American politics has begun.